Okay, perfect. Okie dokie. So, what we're going to try and cover in this session then is the birth, marriage, and death certificates and records.
Uh-huh.
They are often referred to as BMDs, B for birth, M for marriage, and D for death. BMDs. So
Yeah.
that is a bit of jargon and lingo that we all could talk about. It's just much quicker than saying birth, marriage, and death records. So
Yes.
BMDs. We're then going to look at the census from 1841 to 1911. The
Yeah.
big news is that they have just announced the launch of the 1921 census on the 6th of January next year.
Right.
So my top tip is don't access it on the 6th of January because the websites are likely to crash.
Yes.
Because they did when the 1911 one went live. It was several days that the website kept crashing because everybody was on it.
Yeah.
So it's quite exciting for us as genealogists. Unfortunately, that will probably be the last census release for quite some considerable time
Oh, right.
because I think the 1931 census, something happened to that. They didn't, was that destroyed in the war? They didn't do one in 1941. So the next one's not until 1951. And we have to wait 100 odd years for them to be released. So,
Wow.
yeah. so,
Be
so,
our descendants that look at that.
sorry, say that again.
It could be our descendants who look at that
Yes.
then.
Well, I'm hoping to find my grandfather on the 1921 census. So, yeah, so it should be interesting. But anyway, so we'll talk about the census. We're going to talk about something called the 1939 Register, which is fascinating. And then I'm going to whiz you through some of the online databases that are out there. I know you use Ancestry, don't you?
Currently, yes.
Yeah. So there are some others that I think you need to be aware of. Whether you want to use them or not, entirely up to you. But I wouldn't be doing my job properly if I didn't tell you about them.
Uh-huh.
And then we're going to look at the free BMD, so free births, marriages, and death certificates. Their listings. It's not actually the certificates for free, but it's just the reference numbers for them.
Uh-huh.
And then the General Registry Office, which is where you can order them from, and it will cost you a lot less than when you ordered it at Ancestry. So that's my other top tip today. So is
Lovely.
that okay with you?
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
And don't forget, I'm also going to send you a copy of this PowerPoint as well, so that some of the documents that appear on the screen, if they're a bit small and you can't quite see them, you'll get a copy of the PowerPoint as well.
Okay, that's great.